Hi there, I'm Ashton, a sound designer for games and interactive media, and this is a breakdown of the dynamic Foley system in Harbinger of Spring. As a no-budget student project, we used Wise's starter license level. There are a couple of nuances to using the starter license, but the biggest is probably the limit of 500 media files. As I started assembling the audio asset list, my early estimates put us somewhere around 800 files after all of the variations, so I knew that we were going to have to get pretty creative in the ways we implemented our audio if we wanted to make it under that threshold. I think a great example of this is in our system for player character movement Foley. The core of the system is 3 switches, one for the material that the player is standing on, one for the weapon they currently have equipped, and one for whether they're walking or running. Since this is an online multiplayer game, we had to rely a lot more on switches than we normally would. Switches are local, whereas states are global, and since every player is controlling an instance of the same character blueprint, any one change in a state would affect every player at the same time, so we had to be pretty careful. Each of these switches informs Wise as to what random containers it should select assets from. If a player is walking on metal and holding an SMG, all Wise has to do is grab a metal footstep, play the SMG gun rattle, and layer in the walking gear movement. Combine this with some gentle volume, pitch, and filter variation, and you can be pretty sure that the player isn't going to hear the same footstep twice. These same variables are updated as needed for every other Foley cue, whether it's a jump, weapon switch, or anything else that might need coverage. Here's a little bit of gameplay footage with the Foley soloed out and turned up a bit, so you can hear what I'm talking about. Systems like this allow for a smaller handful of assets to be creatively reused, remixed, and reassembled on a case-by-case basis, both lowering Foley's impact on our media file cap and massively increasing the number of potential permutations. Since this game is entirely PvP focused, we knew going in that the ability to hear the movement of your opponents was central to the competitive experience. With that in mind, we wanted to make a system that was highly informative and entirely modular, giving us more control over both the data we present to the player and the way it's mixed. I hope this simple breakdown gave you some cool ideas about making your sound systems a little bit more dynamic. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks for watching and have a great day.